What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, bring you incredible guests from all over the world, so sit back, relax, and tune in. My next guest is a former corporate executive, now holistic coach, a father, and a husband. Please welcome Tassos Kotzias. Tassos, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Diana. It's a pleasure being here with you. Thank you for having me here. And I really am excited, to have this chat, and bring real value to your listeners and viewers today.
Yes, and I think what we're going to talk about is going to be so helpful and really maybe give some women out there, a resource for them to go to because of what you do. I think is very necessary. But first, I want to let the audience know, where are you joining me from? Because this is a first.
Yes. Well, I'm Greek originally, right? I was born in Athens, Greece, but I'm currently live for the last 10 years in Qatar, in Doha, Qatar, so Middle East.
Very cool. He says it's very safe there, you guys. So if you're joining me from the United States, you know how crazy it is here in the U.S., but it's very safe there. So perhaps you might want to move over there and enjoy the good life in Qatar. Well, you had a very long run in corporate, right, as an executive, and 25 years. And so can you kind of tell us what made you make that big change? Because I know that's a hard change to go from security, having the title, to going into something completely, well, not completely opposite, but more on your own, an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. But I enjoyed the ride. So I enjoyed the ride of being a corporate executive. For years I had an amazing experience with different companies, different organizations, different countries. Working with many smart people and many, let's say, professional people. However, slowly, I started getting tired myself as well, and started getting tired mentally and psychologically, not physically. Because physically, I have to tell you that the last 7 or 8 years, I'm into Kung Fu, and I'm practicing Kung Fu every week, almost every second day, every third day. So not physically, but mentally and psychologically, that was a challenge. And it was a challenge because you know how it is: stressful situations, insecure managers or colleagues. That's a big issue, especially for women. And as you saw my profile, I'm really focusing on how to help business women and women executives, business owners, how to find their balance and how to achieve their balance into this challenging professional environment. Yeah. So I went through these. I had to go through difficult situations with colleagues, with managers, men and women. But I have to tell you that working with men is even more challenging than working with women. Even for me being a man, right? Because I noticed because myself, I tried always to be balanced. I tried to be a holistic life, even though I was not a coach back then. I didn't even know about coaching back then, right? I was trying to have a holistic life. I was exercising. I was taking care of myself. I had my family that came slowly. I like traveling. I like to keep a balance in my life. So I was working a lot, but I could enjoy all the rest of the things. I was never the workaholic person, really going into this. So I was trying to, however, you cannot avoid it when you have calls at the middle of the night. Oh, you have to do that because in the morning we have this kind of presentation or we have this kind of meeting and we have this kind of deliverable. It can get very stressful. But I noticed that usually this was coming because of the insecurity, the low confidence, the low self-esteem of people managing situations and managing people. So they would try to abuse their power, abuse the other people due to their power and because of their position. Yeah. So they thought they can do and they can manage anything, they can do and they can ask anything, and they would very easily cross the lines, and they would all cross the red lines, right?
Yeah.
The challenge that we have, all of us, when we're executives, men and women, but I would say mostly women in that case, is how to set the boundaries.
Yeah.
The boundaries very, very challenging. Even with my clients, I face this now. Very difficult to manage our boundaries, our personal boundaries, and keep healthy boundaries.
Why do you think that is? That it's hard for especially women in the executive world or the corporate world to set those boundaries?
because the demands and the requirements are so high and they are so, rigid sometimes. And unfortunately, there's a lack of compassion, a lack of empathy for a lot of people and a lot of men, because, men by nature also, we kind of lack the level of compassion and the level of empathy that women have. So then cannot associate, we cannot resonate so much. We cannot come into your shoes, let's say.
Yeah.
So what happens is that then we ask things, we demand things, we don't care, we don't think of the consequences, we don't think of the mental and emotional state, psychological state of our peers, of our colleagues. And this is something that I faced a lot myself.
Yeah.
And that was slowly, I have to, if I can share a small story here, I had a lot of women back then coming to me, like naturally, I couldn't understand why back then. And they were saying, "Oh, Tassos, I have this issue. Maybe you can give me some advice. What do you think? How I should behave here with this guy, with my manager? How should I react? How should I, how, what is the process that I should follow?" And I was listening, trying to give advice, trying to support and everything. It was nice feeling. I really enjoyed that myself.
Yeah.
Right. But I do not understand
It's a natural coach. You're just a natural coach.
Yes. Now me looking back, it felt like very natural. And I didn't know anything about coaching, right? Coaching came the last years where I got my qualification, in the US actually, in a holistic coaching training institute in the US, my certification and everything. And then I shifted to a coaching mindset and a coaching mentality. But back then it was more like a natural.
Yeah.
Right. So coming back a little bit to your question, what shifted in me, and I also shifted to holistic coaching. I think it was this, that I realized that I could help people.
Yeah.
I could help people. I could help women. I could support women find their balance, to achieve their balance, to think holistically on all the 4 levels of holistic coaching. Because I'm not sure how much you're aware, but holistic coaching is physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level of awareness.
Okay.
Or a level of well-being. So how do we manage this balance between these 4 levels? This is the challenge.
Yeah. So for your heart, you developed a unique heart coaching methodology. So can you talk to us about what that makes that different from other people, other coaches?
Yes, actually, I can tell you, I feel very proud of that, even though it's not, of course, very well known, because it's recent, it's quite recent, and it's like, slowly, you have to pass the message and explain to people and, attract people to this methodology. But it's the, let's say, the result of these many years of experiences and of coaching in around holistic coaching. What does it mean, heart? First of all, heart, we know heart is the organ, heart. Okay. Then we say follow your heart. Also, we know it, right? We know it.
Right.
But heart is an acronym for me, which means holistic, E for empowerment, A for acceptance, R for resilience, and T for transformation.
Oh, I like it.
For me, it's like a 5-step methodology. So you start with a holistic balance, the holistic approach in your life.
Yeah.
Because of this, you get empowerment. You feel confident. You feel more grounded. You can speak up. You can put your boundaries. You can set your healthy boundaries around you, right? And in this way, by doing this, you start feeling slowly the acceptance. First of all, self-acceptance.
Right.
And secondly, the acceptance by the people around you.
Okay.
So once you're receiving this acceptance, it again circles back and refuels your empowerment. So empowerment, acceptance, and empowerment. And this slowly creates the resilience, because then you're doing more, you can do more things, you're more dynamic, you're more assertive as a person. You can sustain conditions, challenging conditions and difficult conditions for a longer time. Right? And by all these steps, you end up with a deep transformation.
Yeah.
And a transformation, not only as a change, but transformation as a real transformation. So looking back, you will say, okay, wow, I started in point A and I reached point B. And point B is I'm a completely different person. I'm a completely different self. I'm a completely different person. So this is what heart coaching methodology is about. Yes.
I love it. So does a person, when you start take on a client, you work with them, do they have to get the holistic part down first to like make sure that they have all those pillars in line?
Yes, yes. And I will give you an example here.
Okay.
For example, holistic. What does it mean, holistic? Holistic means by the simple thing. When I'm working in my office or when I wake up in the morning, do I have sunlight?
Right.
Do I have natural light around me? Very important, for example. Simple thing, but very, very important.
Yeah.
I have clients that tell me, I love the sun. I need the sun. I need to go up outside for 10 minutes and get vitamin D, enjoy the sun before I start my day. So this is holistic, for example, right?
Yeah.
A small example. Then our daily habits, our daily routines.
Yeah.
What I ask, I do an exercise with some clients, and I ask them, I say, when I start, I say, can you tell me within your day, 24 hours, you have 24 hours, you don't have more. You don't have to wait 24 hours because, we here say, oh, it's not enough. 24 hours are not enough for us.
Yeah.
But we all have 24 hours.
Right.
How do you break down these 24 hours? How much time do you spend working? How much time you spend with your family?
Yeah.
How much time you spend for your own personal growth, for your own personal development? How much time do you spend for sleep? How much time do you spend for your self-care? Because you train, you exercise, you go to a spa, you do your nails, you do your hair, etc. Right?
Right.
So once people start thinking, once my clients start thinking about this, all of a sudden they realize that there's no balance.
Yeah.
With this simple exercise, they realize that there's no balance.
Yeah.
So this is what holistic is about.
And so then once you get them to identify where they're imbalanced, then what's the next step in your heart methodology? Because
Yes.
like to get empowered, I feel like that is such a journey for a lot of women. I feel like even today there's so many women missing that empowerment piece. And it's that's really just a lack of self-esteem and a lack of self-confidence.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, this is how it is. So, how the empowerment comes once you start having this holistic balance, or as you said, when we figure out that in some part of their lives, in some part of their daily routines or daily habits, or in general in their life, there is some imbalance, we start working to find this balance, to create this balance, because balance is easy to create. It's really, really easy to create. Once you know what you want to achieve, once you know who you are and what you want to achieve, then you can create the balance around you. Of course, I know there are kids, there's family, there is work, there is project, there's deliverables, there are deadlines, there are social activities. I need to go with my kids to the party, to the birthday parties. I need to go shopping. I need to do this. I need to plan the family vacation. I know women unfortunately have a lot of roles, a lot of different roles, and a lot of different hats, and it's not easy at all.
Yeah.
But they can still have the choice. They have the choice. They have the choice to choose. They have the choice to put their priorities, set the priorities.
Yeah.
Manage their life around these priorities. So once we start working around this holistic balance, holistic approach, then slowly, slowly also the empowerment comes.
Yeah.
The empowerment comes, and then we start working on the empowerment aspect. So we start working, okay, what do you need to increase your level of self-esteem?
Yeah.
What do you need to increase your level of low self-confidence, So this is what coaching is about now here. So we start exploring ways, start increasing the awareness. We start finding the methods, the tools that make them committed and accountable, to be able to change things in their everyday lives and slowly, slowly improve all the levels where they need to improve.
Yeah.
And you know what, Diana, my philosophy here is work on your strengths. Don't work on your weaknesses.
Yeah.
Because if you work on your strengths, you make a massive difference in a quick, short time span. If you work on your weaknesses, it may take you too much time.
Yeah.
And you know that this is the difference between also psychology and psychotherapy and coaching.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. So I have a question. Do you think that women are more prone to be out of balance than men?
Yeah, I would not say yes. I would say equally, but they are more prone because of the circumstances. Women, they're more prone because of the circumstances. Because men, we know we feel very insecure, right? And we can be very, very sensitive inside, but we don't show it
Yeah.
because we saw that we are leaders, we saw that we are assertive, we saw that we have the courage, we
Yeah.
saw that we can
The
take
ego.
the yes, we have high ego. Exactly, we have very high ego. We don't want to accept that we are vulnerable. We
Yep.
don't want to accept that we are sensitive. Sometimes we don't even want to accept that we are mommy's boys. See what I mean?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we create this wall in front of us, and then people around us, they think that we are strong, we're confident, and all this. But deep down in us, it's not like this.
Yeah.
It's not like, for the majority of men, it's not like this. And I can tell you that. So of course, some men have higher yang energy,
Yeah.
male energy. Some have less yang, more yin, or balanced yang, yang and yin. But this
Yeah.
is for other people the same. But women, unfortunately, because of nature, also they have to take more. They take more responsibilities. They take the responsibilities of the family. They need to give. They need to be to. They have maternity, or by itself, one is a big issue,
Yeah.
right? Or then we reach menopause. This is also change in a woman's life, right? So by condition, by nature, unfortunately, and by hormones, this
Yeah.
creates more imbalances than a man.
Oh yeah, for sure. So why do you think that women gravitate to you? Why do you think that's like your ideal client?
I would say because I can help them understand that I'm coming from a man's point of view, so
Mhm.
I can help them understand how a man is thinking, how a man
Yeah.
is reacting in a professional environment and in a family environment as well. Because, as you said, I'm also a husband, you have a family, etc. So
Yeah.
I'm working 360 anyway, right? And
Yeah.
my life is very, very holistic anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm a man. They can come to me. I can help them, give them some tips about how a man thinks in the professional environment, inside the corporation, or as a husband,
Yeah.
as a friend, as a brother, as a son,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
See, because all these roles that a man has sometimes is conflicting with the roles of women. Yeah,
Oh, for sure. So who is your ideal client?
yeah. My ideal client is a woman executive, so it's a lady that she wants to succeed in her career. She wants to achieve professionally, to reach a certain level, but at the same time,
Yeah.
she wants to have a family. She knows that she will have, or she already has a family, and she needs to find this balance, work-life balance at work, balance at home, balance socially, balance with a husband, with all the different roles that she has from her side. So this is my ideal client, my ideal, let's say, coachee. I would say coachee because I don't like to really say client. I
Yeah.
prefer to say coachee. Because in the end, what coaching is? Coaching is a cooperation. Coaching
Right.
is a discussion. It's a
Right.
discussion, it's a deep discussion, right? And how we can help each other to grow and develop ourselves.
Yeah. Do you have a success story that you could share with us?
Yeah, yes, that's a very interesting question. Thank you for asking that. Yes, I have a story, and I had a coachee, a lady that she was maybe in their mid
Okay.
thirties, very recently, last 6 months ago, with very, very low self-esteem, and very low self-confidence. I have approval also from her to share that anyway,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's all good because of ICF, International Coaching
Oh yeah, yeah.
Federation.
Well, you don't have to name names. Yeah. We just want to
So
hear a story.
exactly. So, but I just need to mention that. So yes, he had these very, very low self-esteem and very low self-confidence. But it was strange, even for her and even for me when we first start discussing that, because at home she was very strong. She was the leader of the home,
Yeah.
very, very strong, like her father, while her mother was very weak.
Okay.
So when I challenged her, she said to me, "Yeah, Tassos, I'm the leader at home. I'm very strong at home. I think it's because of my strong personality with my father and the lack." of this kind of attributes or behaviors of my mother.
Sure.
So I be the leader. However, in the professional environment, in the working environment, she was very weak, very weak. She would not speak up. She accept everything that was thrown to her, in terms of work. She would even accept some insulting
Oh,
situations.
no. Okay.
Yes. So her boundaries were completely not rigid at all. Were completely
Yeah.
porous, as we say, all completely loose boundaries. So, and she was, as you understand, she was really miserable in that. She was almost depressed because she could not manage this. And it was very strange for her to say, "Oh, I'm a leader at home. How can it be that in work, in this professional environment, I cannot manage?"
Yeah.
So we worked together for almost 3 months, right? I took her through the hard coaching methodology, and she realized that by this approach, the holistic approach on the professional level, so she was here at home,
Yeah.
but very low at the work. So we tried to bring this balance up, get the empowerment that she needed to work, speak up, set her boundaries, be more confident, be more assertive, trying to take more projects, more individual, independent projects of herself, show to the other people what she can do and what she can deliver by herself, and
Oh,
then
wow.
slowly starting getting the acceptance that she required. And on the other hand, she lowered the strong personality and
Yeah.
leadership home because she needed all the balance, because she was going back home. Then she was irritated, she was stressed, she was angry, and it's difficult to be angry now with the kids and with your husband and having so much stress and not being able to communicate. So we managed to lower the strong personality at
Yeah.
home and increase the strong personality at work. And now she's much more
I love
stable,
it.
yeah, and she's feeling much happier. And because in the end, what is what you need to be happy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can totally see like that where that out of balance came more like full circle where it needed to be, because if you are not feeling respected and feeling like you are doing a good job at work, you're going to take that home with you and it's just going to throw everything off. So that's beautiful. So with that being said, where can people find you, connect with you, and learn more about working with you?
Yes, I would be happy to. I would be happy to support. They can find me my website, which is TASSOSKOTZIAS.com, tassoskotzias.com. Right, I'm sure you have some links in the
Yes.
podcast. Find me, and I have my social media as well. I have my LinkedIn profile as well, so they can reach out to me, and I'll be happy really to support.
Excellent. You guys, if you are listening to this and you aligned with Tassos' message, do not hesitate to go click those links in the show notes and check him out. Reach out to him. I'm sure he would love to have a conversation to see if it's a good fit. If you are suffering somewhere in your life and you need to find that balance, do not hesitate to reach out to him. He obviously has the tools to help you succeed and get that balance back. This is the part of the show, Tassos, where I like to ask for last words of wisdom or advice. What would you like to leave with us today?
Hmm. That's very interesting. Thank you for this question. You know what? I read sometime something really interesting from Madonna. It was a Madonna's quote, and she was saying, "I'm tough, I'm ambitious, and I know exactly what I want to do."
Mm.
And she was saying, so if all this makes me I don't want to say the word, but bitch,
Yes.
right? Then it's okay. Then it's fine. So if I can share my wisdom on that, I would add one more thing on
Okay.
that. I would add, it's not enough only to know exactly what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's very important to know who you are,
Mm.
but who you deeply are, what is your true self. Because if you know what's your true self, then you are authentic,
Yeah.
and you're full of authenticity, full of integrity, and you keep your values at a certain level, and you don't have any challenges in that aspect, right? So
Yeah.
if your listeners and viewers are not sure about their true selves, or they want to discover more on how to reach that level of finding the true self, I'm here to help, and I would be happy to make myself available to show them how.
Beautiful. Tassos, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for what you do and sharing how you help women find that balance in their life, because I feel that it is very necessary. So many of us are walking around imbalanced, and to have that holistic life is a very coveted thing, I think. So thank you very much for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live it label free. As always, don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.